less lethal contingencies. And today we're going to try some further testing with the tether. So yesterday we tried the X-68 with the tether stock that I made for it. The what am I calling the Punisher stock, right? For my Punisher build, X-68. And we did the 48 CI tank, regulated to 800 PSI output. Today we're going to try the smaller tank, just to get some different numbers, get a different feel of what the difference is between the larger 48 CI tank, which did have, basically it was an 800 PSI output. This is my soft tank though. I got it pumped up to 3000 PSI capacity. As you can see here, it's only a 13 CI tank, rated at 3000. But this one I'm calling a soft tank because it's been producing, the regulator anyways, been producing about 750 PSI. I'm going to throw the gauge on it really quick and see what it says right now, because who knows, it could be 700. This way we'll get a good sense of what it is. Well, we'll have an accurate reading of what it is. So we're going to do that first. Break out my test meter here. This is what I'm using to test it. And let's see. We'll see what this one reads or tests out as. And then we're going to hook it up to the tether line and we're going to shoot the X-68 Punisher build. We're going to shoot that again on here. Yeah. All right. So the little tiny gauge here on this on and off on this is showing 700. The more accurate larger gauge, let's see, that would be 7, that would be 7, 1, 2, 3. That would be 8. So yeah, it's about right in the middle. Yeah, so it's showing 750 is what it looks like to me. Okay, so this is a soft tank. I'm gonna degas, de-air it, turn it back on again, just to take one more quick reading. Yeah, 750 PSI. Okay, so we'll see what this does. The 750 PSI does on the tether line here. Get all that out of there. There we go. All right, so 750 PSI, 13 CI tank. All right. Yeah, let's see. All right, I did end up replacing my bird cage inner O-ring. I had a very small, very slow leak on it the other day when I was shooting tethered. I did replace it and I aired it up off camera and it sounds good now. I'm not hearing anything coming through the mag well, which that's where you would hear it, definitely through the mag well. Okay, so that looks good. Again, this is the tether stock that I made for this build. Okay, a digital gauge on here. Got your 8mm quick disconnect male fitting right here. So what we're gonna do is we'll get our tether line out and make sure this is in the off position. The slide check, it is. And we're gonna screw the bottle in here. 13 CI 750 output bottle. Okay. And we're going to turn her on. Again, let me make sure this thing's off. Yeah, it's off. All right, let's turn her on. Okay, this tether line has a gauge built into it. It's always inaccurate. This one seems to read artificially high. So we saw with that other gauge, the more accurate gauge we saw it was reading about 750 on an 800 output, right? This one here is reading. This one's saying it's like more like 825, 850, somewhere just before 900. So I know that's not too accurate. This digital gauge too, it's kind of a cheaper gauge. It's cool, but to see what you have for PSI left, but even that one's running on the high end. It's not going to be as accurate. So, all right, so we have that. I'm just going to sit this tank in here. And I didn't bring down any factory mags, but I do have a drum mag, ADN drum mag, right here with some 10-gram air tactical joules in it. So we'll be using those, actually. I don't want to get myself all crisscross. Let me put it over here. All right. Put my other ear protection in too. I know this thing wasn't leaking before, so it should be all right. And again, with these tether lines, with the slide checks, the slide check, guns unloaded, slide check it operates a lot smoother, a lot easier, at least under these pressures anyways. So you got to be careful that you don't flip it to on as you're trying to push this on. Okay. So you got to pay attention to that. All right. It's tricky. The first time I used it, it was airing out all over the place as I was trying to make the connection. All right. So everything looks good. Solid connection. I like to spin the quick connect a little bit, make sure it's in there good. Make sure that the collar, locking collar's, spinning freely so I know it's making a good connection. All right. We're going to air up off of this 13 CI tank. We'll just simply flip the slide check to the on position. Had a good crisp sound from the bolt activation. And not hearing anything. No hissing. That's a good sign. So it looks like that bird cage inner O-ring is working just fine for me. It says we have 800 PSI. Again, this thing's probably off by, I guess, 50 PSI compared to the more accurate liquid gauge. Turn the laser on. And we're going to take our drum mag that has the 10-gram joules in it. There's 18 in here. We're not going to probably shoot all 18 off of this tank. I doubt it anyways. But we'll shoot, I don't know, 6, 8 rounds or so. Because I imagine once that pressure starts dipping off, it's going to dip off a lot faster than the 48 CI tank. The 48 CI tank, I estimate I'll probably get I would think 6-round mags. I would think I'd get like six of those magazines, I would think. But we'll be testing that out at some point. All right, so we are live off the 13 CI tank. 800 PSI, 10-gram ammo. With the drum mag. All right. Shot one. I'll just call out the feet per second. 475.3. Shot two. 463.7. Shot three. 465.3. Shot four. 465.2. Shot five. 463.7, and shot 6, 467.1. I think that's good enough for this test. Just wanted to compare it to what we were getting off being fed from the 48 CI tank. So this is really just to compare the first 6 shots with the 48 CI tank, 800 output, which was really a little bit less than 800, but not as less as this. I mean, this is 750, definitely 750. Okay, we're going to de-air with the slide check by sliding it that way. Actually, before I do, let me put it back on. Well, let's take the mag out. Before we do that, I want to see what this is saying. Let's put that there. 2 rounds just dropped out of there. Let me turn this back on. I want to see what it says we have left after 6 rounds. 784 it says now. So yeah, so my guess is we're dropping below 750. So with the smaller tank, yeah, you're noticing, especially shooting this heavier ammo, definitely we're noticing the PSI is dropping off. All right. Let's see what we have left for capacity on this. $2,000. Okay, so you know, big difference. Like we started off with 3,000, now we got 2,000 on there for capacity left. So with 6 rounds of the 10-gram ammo, we've dropped a little faster on this tank than I saw yesterday on the 48 CI tank. We had only used about 800 PSI of capacity. And actually, that wasn't 1 mag, that was 2 mags. So that was 12 rounds yesterday, and we only used 800. So for some reason, this tank is definitely draining a little quicker. Once that PSI starts to fall off, it seems like you definitely lose some volume as well. If I'm thinking about it correctly. But yeah, 2,000 PSI after 6 rounds, which is what this tank's been doing all along, to be honest with you. It's been doing that all along. But yesterday, with the 48 CI 800 tank, I got through 12 rounds, 2 factory mags, and it only dipped it down from 3,000. It took it down to about 2,200. So definitely better with the larger tank. Got to remember to de-air the line. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so that's the difference. You know, good little test to see what the difference would be between the smaller 13 CI, what's supposed to be 800, but really what started off at 750, and the bigger tank that had a lot more capacity, you know, in 48 CI, so a lot bigger tank. So that is the difference right there. And again, for those that may not have seen yesterday's video when I was shooting tethered for the first time, my X-68 on the 48 CI tank, much larger capacity tank. So yeah, all right, so that's the test today. I was considering actually maybe trying one of the higher pressure tanks on here, but you know what? I'm probably not going to be doing that at the range anyways. And the whole point of shooting tethered really is I was looking to use a larger tank, and probably just going to shoot on the larger tank with 800 PSI when I'm at the club. You know, this way I don't have to constantly be changing out bottles. I can, you know, I feel like I'm probably going to get a good 6 magazines. So out of that, at least I would suspect so. yeah, so that's it. Anyways, hopefully this was educational and if not, entertaining. So again, have a good weekend. I've been busy all weekend testing some different stuff. We got another episode of the experimental zone where I'm going to have the Intrabuster Gen 2 testing it on the car stock with, tethered to that larger 48 CI 800 PSI tank. Um, I think I got some pretty good results with that. So be watching for that video to drop as well. All right, have a great weekend. Peace out.